We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
On this Memorial Day, we will remember veterans who neglectfully and needlessly died in the VA hospitals. Welcome. I'm George Hassan, and you are watching Chai and Chat with George Hassan. Chai and Chat is the active voice of the Iranian American community, and it also serves as a gateway to that community throughout the world. In the recent allegations, VA hospitals are accused of mistreatment and not giving the care that VAs are entitled to. Someone said, no human being has the moral right to gamble with the life of the other human beings. I don't know who said that, but it's very well said. For years, I have been wearing my U.S. veteran cap with pride, to trying to make a statement. At first, I was going to make the statement to the Iranian American community that yes, to allow your kids to wear the uniform, whether it's army, to go into the army, to go to become a highway patrol, to become a police. And I am really delighted to see the second and third generation of Iranian Americans are indeed wearing that uniform. They are contributing. They are patriots and dedicated. At the age of 22 in 1959, I came to this great country for a better life. Less than a year, I got drafted in the Army, U.S. Army, and those days were the draft. You get a letter from the President of the United States that says greetings. And I took my basic training at Fort Ord, which is near Monterey, just south of San Francisco. And I have to admit that I had a hard time at the beginning. Not only that I didn't quite understand the commands, I was also the shortest one, I believe, that while the the kids, army guys, my buddies were, while they were running, I had a very, very hard time to catch up. And where they were marking times, I was still running. Then I was shipped to Fort Sam Houston, San Antonio, Texas. I worked in the special services. Uh, the Fort Sam Houston is, or maybe was, the place where they trained all the doctors and nurses. And special services was that many doctors or students would come for medical training from Iran to Fort Sam Houston, to Brooke Army Medical Center. And they needed some help with their English, with don'ts and do's, and I was there to help them. In addition, I was working as a lifeguard, and I was also translating documents, military documents, from Farsi into English and vice versa. On Sundays, I remember that's over 50 years ago, the churches and organizations would throw out parties, barbecue parties, and they invite these officers to the parties. Those days, that was the time of the Shah, and Iranians really enjoyed a good relationship with the world, unlike today. And as I said, churches and places, they throw out parties, and they would have some young ladies, unattached young ladies, to entertain. They would dance with these officers, they would bring for food, drinks, have a conversation, so make him feel at home. And I had to go because I was helping him out. On this Memorial Day, I am confused and I have mixed emotions. As you people know, veterans especially, that there's a hot discussion and investigations going on at this moment that the VA did not properly give care to the veterans. While I have the highest respect for Veteran Affairs Administration, I believe we need to take a serious look at this problem. Who do we blame for this problem? Do we blame our President Obama? Do we blame the head of VA Affairs, Honorable Eric Shinseki, if I'm pronouncing his name correct, who just, I believe, has resigned? Or do we blame the local VA hospitals? Or rather, blame. I believe that it is the local VA hospitals that create problems, that do the damage. The local hospitals occasionally give services that are below the accepted standard of care and seriously disregard the veterans' safety. I am a veteran, and I'm also a victim of the VA hospital, specifically the Greater Los Angeles VA Hospital. I cannot go into details because I have put a claim, but I could talk perhaps a little bit about the facts. Why? And it's going to help, I'm sure it helps the other veterans who are kind of walking in my shoes, so to speak. I don't know. Perhaps the physicians and the nurses did not have a proper training. But the sad and disturbing part is that after the incident, that I almost died really, my whole record out of 568 pages, missing is one page, one day, and that day of incident is totally being wiped out by the risk management disk probably, or someone in there. And in its place, it says the computer was out. In fact, it also says that for this man we have handwritten notes, but it was not incorporated into the records. So nowhere to be found, that handwritten. So there is no way in those 568 pages that mentions about the incident that I almost died. And as I said, I'm not permitted to go into details. What's more, and again really disturbing, is that VA has sent me a letter that says the federal government has granted us 6 months to look at this. Therefore, you cannot file a lawsuit or perhaps discuss with an attorney until after the 6 months.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't mind. I apologize for cutting in because I'm a veteran too, George, and it definitely sounds, just by you saying this, it definitely sounds that they realize they made a mistake, and the 6 months will allow them to see exactly how to deal with this because it's going to cost them, and they know that. So after the 6 months, if it's not satisfying, if you're not satisfied with the way the outcome is, then go ahead and get that lawyer and do that, because again, I'm a veteran, and that's why the Veterans Show Live, Veterans Day Live, is the show is about, is to talk about these issues that the VA is doing to the vets, and we vets don't have enough firepower to battle this, but we do. Like you said, if we stand together and protest and start, talking and saying things and doing things about the squeaky wheel gets oil. They're going to have to find out why are we complaining so much, so many of us, to do that. So I'm reaching out to you. My invitation for you to come on the Veterans Day Live show. So
with pleasure.
So we can talk about
I will.
This,
Mr. Marshall, the problem that I see is that in my case, for instance, it's going to be over a year. My witnesses, the physician who did something wrong to me, that I'm paralyzed right now from my left leg.
Right.
I am not sure if I can find those witnesses in a year from now, or 6 months from now, which will be a year, to bring them into the court of law.
Well, not to cut you off, and I found this out because of a case that has nothing to do with the VA, but it affect my family. again, they being smart because you said 6 months, and that would make a year. And I know they
They're hoping
stated
that you go away.
no, not to go away, but you cannot file a lawsuit against a doctor after a year. You have up to 1 year to file a suit. Anytime after that, you're not allowed. It's statute
I
of limitations.
didn't know that.
I know, but they don't. They expect you not to know that.
Yeah, they expect. Yeah.
And by them saying to you that you're not able to talk about it
That's
to a
what I'm saying.
lawyer.
I have a letter that says exactly that.
I mean, I would still get some type of advice.
Yeah. And also, I was told by the attorney who called me, a lady,
Mm-hmm.
that she represented herself as the VA attorney on the phone. She want to get any kind of information that she could maybe poke a hole into my
Yeah.
case if she can.
Exactly.
It was all one-sided. I had an appointment to see her, and I called and I canceled it. I said, "Hey, I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing?" And it's only one-sided, and she is inside the VA where she works with the others. She's not
Right.
She's not working on my side.
No, exactly.
She's working on the others. So I have posed some question to the VA, the greater VA
Right.
Hospital of Los Angeles. I asked her, while a senior veteran trusts his life, the only asset he has, health,
Right.
to
Exactly.
the doctors and nurses whose first duty is the safety of the patient. And when they abdicate, when they abandon that duty, that fiduciary obligation, if you will,
Right. Exactly.
what has VA gained? What have you done for the VA? What have you done for the veteran? What have you done for the community? What have you done for the nation? What have you done for the humanity?
Okay.
VA is a second. I said none is the best itself. The
Okay.
VA institution is great. They're spending billions of dollars to help the veterans. And if a VA hospital keeps all of this information in there or modify the cases in some time and submit them to higher attorney people,
Yeah.
it's their fault. It's not the fault of our president who doesn't know these things and he's trying to do the best job he can. They're spending billions of dollars. I
Okay.
go to VA hospital and VA Sepulveda, and my doctor, the doctor who is caregiver,
Exactly.
she is not only a best human being, honestly, God, she is so wonderful. She is excellent in care, but she also have my case sometime to be reviewed by other doctors, and they are very respectful. They are very help. They are very ready to give you help, anything they can do, and yet another hospital, which is the greater Los Angeles VA hospital, does things that are below the standard or are not expected.
Okay.
And I'm keep bringing my case, but I'm asking all the VA's people who had problem like mine or similar to sound off.
Exactly. So you
To
heard it from
call-
George. Yeah. Excuse me. So you heard it from George Hassan. For those who want to call in, the number is 323-473-3100. We'd like to hear your opinion. how you feel about the veterans and how they being treated by the VA system. This is Memorial Day weekend. The whole month was dedicated to the men and women who served in the armed forces. So we need you to let us know how you feel. And I wanted to ask you another thing too, Joyce. Now, this letter that they gave you, did you sign it saying that you will not go to an attorney to talk about?
No, I did not. I was a bit smarter than that.
But then that's not binding. Then I would go to a lawyer and tell them about this.
No, they sent me some kind of, we doing this. This is our procedure. This is our way we do things, and you ought to pay attention to it. That kind of thing. But I did not sign any waivers or anything that say, okay. No, I did not.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to give him a chance. Meanwhile, I'm going to see as much as I can, if it's every week or every other whatever, to talk about this, to let the people know that we are the people. We as the people in this nation, we have the power. We can take care of these bad apples and restore the good name of VA affairs or Veteran Administration. Because they're spending the money. They're trying the best they can, but it's us who are spoiling the whole thing. It's us who are giving a bad name. It's not our president, it's not the head of the VA, it's me. Mm-hmm. If I don't sign off, if I don't do anything, they will love that at the VA.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm asking that for people, veterans, with the sound of my voice, as I said, to call, please call, let us get together. We can form a vigilance committee, a committee that is outside of VA's power.
Right.
It's a committee that us people, us veterans, who have been in some way injured, mistreated by the VA hospital.
And there's a lot of them that has. And
there are thousands, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, every day there's somebody coming through there who are being mistreated, given wrong information, given useless information, where they get given them the they have to play phone tag, or they have to go from this place to that place, back to the same place because they said no, we don't do that at this department. You have to go back to that department, and they the ones who do it, and it's so frustrating. Exactly, that's why they want you to give up. So that's why Vets to Vets has been created, so that we can get the right information out to other vets, and they know when they step in front of the VA personnel, they're intelligent enough. They have the knowledge to let them know that no, you can't just tell me to walk away, because I know the truth.
Yes, I think it's time. It's time to because truth matters always, and we are after the truth. Nothing else.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not so much worried about the award, monetary award. That okay, I cannot walk with the damage. They probably most likely give me something. I'm not worried about that. What I like to see is that the cleanup, that the risk management desk, as I call it, as I know, understands that they cannot do that to a veteran. That they cannot step on the dignity of a veteran. They cannot make a veteran feel that their life has no value for the Veteran Administration, for the VA hospital. You cannot do that. It's not just you're not supposed to. You cannot do it. You are not allowed, and we will not allow you to do that anymore.
There you go. and we just got to stand.
I am sorry if I sound a bit harsh, but I can't find no other way to truly let the people know that what's going on and it's not right. Let the veterans know.
Exactly.
We, Chai and Chat, will be back after this beautiful music. Welcome. I'm George Hassan, and you are watching Chai and Chat with George Hassan. Chai and Chat is a gateway to the Iranian American communities throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, to continue my what I've said and the problem, today I've been wearing this cap for at least 3 decades. As I mentioned earlier, just to make a statement that we should contribute. We, when the motherland or the nation needs us, we should answer. We should volunteer. But today, with sadness in my heart, I'm taking my VA cap off. And it's going to stay off until we take care of this problem, until the justice is done, until these bad apples who cause problem for veterans, who in some cases make veterans to lose their lives. Until that day, I will proudly put my cap back again.
There you go. You heard it from George Hassan on Chai and Chat. That's a very strong statement, George, I commend you for putting your foot down and wanting to make a change because until like you say, until we get together and do something about that, they're going to continue um, throwing us under the rug, throwing us under the bus more or less, and not giving us the proper information or even the proper care. And as I understand, I didn't know you wanted to talk about this today because I don't know the name of the gentleman who was the head of the VA department, who and is
Yes,
mostly responsible.
Honorable Eric Shinesky.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I think if that's the person,
He's the gentleman who uh, has left the VA, and someone else is, I believe, taking.
it's
I
going to
just
take
heard
it.
this morning.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly,
sure.
exactly. So
He was an
and-
excellent soldier, by the way. Excellent record.
Okay, but
yeah,
but as
he's not-
far
yeah,
but
he-
as far as I understand, he isn't he responsible for a lot of the way we been treated?
Uh, I have a kind of mixed feeling about the whole situation. As I mentioned earlier,
Okay,
I believe the problem starts from each local VA hospital. Because the way, for instance, the way that I was treated, my record was treated, this head of VA administration had no knowledge of it, so that I can blame him.
right.
The VA hospital is the place where they help each other in a case like this. For instance, the one who was supposed to help me, the attorney called. All she wanted some information, more information from me, and I realized it quickly that she's trying to perhaps see where is my weakness,
Exactly.
so they can minimize my case. And this is not happened to only to George Hassan, but I'm bringing it out because it just happened to me, and I'm sure there are thousands, maybe hundreds,
Yeah, but 1,000 people.
but people walking out there, veterans who have been some kind of injustice done to them, and either they are not aware, or they are aware, they think they cannot do anything about it. But we, the people, we are going to.
Exactly.
Believe me, from now on, if we have to take this case, if we have to have demonstrations in front of the federal building or VA administration hospital, believe me, they'll be there.
There you go.
I am good at that. I've done it. I'm just trying to. I don't know how these people, the people who are in a position that they abdicate, as I said, they abandon their conscience, their duty, and not only modify the situation, sometimes cases, but they totally wipe out the cases, in my case, how they can sleep at night. Do they look into the mirror? Did they see themselves in the mirror and see what they're doing?
Probably
Do
not.
they think that they are helping VAs by crushing the veterans? I don't think so. I think we have to make him aware, in fact, get rid of him for that matter, and make those who are going to take their places aware that we are watching.
There you go.
This committee is going to be watching. And this committee has no obligations to the hospital, but to the veterans. I want to hear from the veterans out there. I want to see how many of you, please call and let us get together. There's a number in the bottom of the
At the bottom of the screen, and that number is 323-473-3100. Once again, that number is 323-473-3100. Call in. We want to hear your opinion, what you think that should be done to correct the misuse of veterans and their health care, and why does it take a whole year for a veteran to be evaluated and given a certain percentage or denied a percentage because it's obvious that he's suffering or she's suffering from some type of physical and mental illness. So we need your help.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Yes, we want to know now. So with two of us here, but I'm sure there'll be thousands out there that soon rejoin us. We want to know how many of you out there suffer the humiliation knowing that greater LAVA hospital, that, as I said, risk management desk, has altered your records. How many of you out there?
I'm quite sure it's a lot of them. Yeah, I'm quite sure.
As a veterans, we have to make commitment to ourselves first. Commitment to our families. Commitment to our community. To our nation. And to this great VA institution to expose those bad apples, to drag these wrongdoers perhaps into the court of laws. I will be talking about this injustice weeks to come. Maybe we need to truly have to form that outside committee, a vigilance committee, the committee that determines, committee that, a sleepless committee, an alert committee that has the power to talk to veterans, to look at their records, to see what's happening. There's a phone number again in the bottom, and Mr. Marshall earlier gave that phone. It's call is area 323-473-3100. This is George Hassan, and you are watching Chai and Chat with George Hassan. See you there.
همین که دل خونبار ابره، همین که شب قتل ستاره است، همین که بغض تو بغض همیشه، همین که ترس من ترس دوباره